Hello and welcome to the topic calculating percent. So today we are working with percentage again. So this is a throwback or review from Unit 1 again, and I'm going to be showing how we're using it. What I want you to be able to do, and we need to change this. I want to identify the different situations involving percent. So there are a couple of different situations, not too many, and I want you to be able to successfully apply the correct process. All right, so example. So we need to go back, and this goes back to Unit 1, converting decimals and percent. And that's what I want to do a quick review on. So what we need to be able to do to successfully get through the unit we're doing on money, we need to be able to take percentages like 13%, and we need to be able to write them in their decimal form. And if you remember, the anchor chart's still up, and you'll probably need to have this written down somewhere for yourselves. To move from percent to decimal, we are dividing by 100, which would mean this would be 0.13. All right. If we have 75%, we need to divide by 100. You get 0.75. One of the things I found in the last unit is that people get a little bit excited because they think they're seeing a pattern where the decimal, the 13, just becomes 0.13, and there is a pattern, but when we get into questions like this, 7.5%, some people are just going through and writing 0.75 because the pattern is exactly that. All right. 7.5 though is different than 75% like the previous one. When you divide by 100, you get 0.075 as an answer. And then it's the single-digit percents that seem to cause the most problems. So, for example, 6%. If you want to convert it to a decimal, it's the same process. You're just dividing by 100. So 6%, so 6 divided by 100 would be 0.06. Decimal places are extremely important. So please be careful that you write it down exactly as is on the calculator, because it really does change your answer. So you need to be aware of that. Okay, so determining percentage, there are two common phrases and they mean the same thing. So what is 23% of 40? And the second one is 70% of 40 is what value? Now, to be quite honest, it's probably the first one that we're going to see 9 times out of 10. Some of the books that I'm looking at, that I'm taking some of the homework from, they do it the second way, the odd time, but it means the exact same thing. So I have a couple of examples that I want to work through with you. So how do you calculate the following? So the process, and I'm going to put it up here for your note. So our process. So what is 35% of 60? So I'm down on the first example here. What is 35% of 60? Step 1, we convert the percent to decimal. All right, we convert percent to decimal. So 35% is equal to, and remember, you don't have to show this every time, but I'm going to do it for the note. You're going to divide by 100, and you get 0.35. Okay. Second one, or second step then. You multiply the decimal value, so the decimal value, by the total. So the total amount, or how much you're given to start with. Okay, so here is your process, and that's it. There's no other steps here. So I'll put a box around that. So that means we're going to take the 0.35 and multiply it by 60. So I'll grab a calculator. Okay, I got my calculator. So once I do that calculation, I get 21. So 35% of 60 is 21. The next one, 70% of 85 is what value? So it's just the opposite wording or the other wording. So 70%, we need to write it as a decimal. So in your note, we divide by 100, we get 0.7. We take that decimal value and we multiply it by the total amount, and our total amount is what's given. So there's 85. So whether it's $85 or 85 marks, we do 0.7 times 85, and we get 59.5. 59.5. What is 68% of 90? So again, it's the same process now every time for us. So divided by 100, we get 0.68. Extend that a little bit. Take the decimal value and you multiply it to your total, which is the 90. So 0.68 times 90 is 61.2. Okay, and that's all there is to it. I just want you to get into this rhythm. There's no next step today. Okay, so for example, last one here, 20%, write it as a decimal, divide by 100, it's 0.2. 0.2 times 120 is equal to, so the 0.2 times 120 is 24, and there we go. So why are we doing this? Okay, so I guess this is the final statement here. We do this process to calculate taxes. Okay? And in the next lesson, we're going to actually go through and we're going to have to calculate sales tax. And it's important we calculate sales tax because different taxes apply to different people. If you're going to work on a farm, there's sometimes different tax rate because you get farm credit. If you're going to move provinces or you're going to go to the states, they use different percentages as well. So it depends on what state you're in. So it's important you know the process and how it's being calculated, and we'll look at that in the next video.